This video tutorial is for answering exercise 1C number 2. So let's start with part A. It's asking us to sketch the graphs of these two absolute value functions on the same axis. So this axis is what we will use to sketch these two graphs. So how do we sketch the graphs? So we need first to remember the parent function for absolute value. So what is the meaning? What is the parent function for absolute value? So this is the parent function. Y equals to absolute value of x. And this is its graph. So why do we need to remember this? Because all the other absolute value functions will just be transformations of this graph. So let's start with this. Y equals to the absolute value of 2x minus 1. So this V graph here, which has a vertex at 0, 0, will be transformed. So how do we get the transformation? By comparing these two equations. So if we compare, we can conclude that the value of x changed, or the value of x was transformed. How was it transformed? So the minus 1 and then times 2. So the value of x was multiplied by 2, and the result, we subtract 1. So that means a horizontal translation and a horizontal stretch. The horizontal translation is suggested by the minus 1, and the horizontal stretch is suggested by the 2 times. Which means the vertex 0, 0 will be translated by 1, 0 because of the minus 1. So what does that mean? So from 0, 0, the vertex will go to the right by 1 unit. So from 0, 0, it will go to 1, 0. So let's say this is the 1. Okay. Because of the horizontal translation. Also, the value of x will undergo a horizontal stretch. So what will happen now if we do a horizontal stretch? So from 1, 0, it will become half 0. Why half 0? Because this is a horizontal stretch with a stretch factor of half. So if it's times 2, the stretch factor is half. So from 1, 0, the vertex will now be at half 0. So this is half. So that's where the vertex will be for this absolute value function. Okay? It will be at half 0. Then the V, the shape will still stay as this V. So let's draw it now. You should use a ruler, but I can't at the moment because I'm holding the iPad with my other hand. So let's just make sure it's a straight line. Try my best. Okay. So based on this V graph, the absolute value function graph intersects the y-axis. So we have to find the y-intercept, this point. This is the y-intercept. So how do we find this? Easy, just make x 0 to get this. So x is 0 here. So that makes the value of y the absolute value of negative 1. 2 times 0 minus 1 is negative 1. So what's the absolute value of negative 1? 1. So this will be at 1. Okay. So we're done with the graph of this function.